Yes, welcome again, my brothers and sisters. Yeah, we've got the 25th of May 2020, and we're here to, you know, pay a small special tribute to the late and great Bobby Robert Dixon. Some call him Bobby Dixon, some call him Digital B, and so on. One of the foundation dancehall engineers and producers. In actual fact, some say he was the very, very first dancehall engineer, because he kind of like took over from the likes of King Jammy, who was very popular in the 1980s, and he was actually, for a while, King Jammy's protege, because it was actually King Jammy who kind of like showed him a few things in the studio, showed him how Echo Unix worked, how to mix songs, how to produce songs, and so on. And even as a youngster, Bobby Digital would always fool around with his brother's electrical appliances and so on, until he got to the stage where he got to a pretty good level. But he wasn't there yet, and then a friend of his took him to King Jammy, who was running the dance halls at that time in Jamaica, Kingston, around Jamaica, around the world, especially when Slang 10 came out by Rain Smith in 1985. Then there were so many different cuts of the same song, and that was really the time when it was called Prince Jammy. Then now it's called King, because of that success he had in 85. But it was actually, as I said, bubbling underneath was a young protege by the name of course, Bobby Digital, or Digital B as some call him. And he learned to, he kind of learned how King Jammy engineered songs, how he'd take rhythms apart, put them back, and so on. And now Jamaica was really awash of a new digitalized revolution after Rain Slinting big hit, #1 hit in 85. It just went all around across the island, and virtually every producer and engineer was using digitalized rhythms and digitalized technology, using computerized rhythms, Casio piano sets, which as soon as you pressed a key note, some amazing thing would happen. This was never seen before in Jamaica, and so there was a new era in the whole of Jamaican music, now called dancehall, digitalized dancehall. And this is where Digital B came in, because after King Jammy, he was really, really popular throughout the whole 80s, alongside the likes of Henry Jonja Laws, Georgie Peng, Black Scorpio, and there were so many other producers. Don Mayas was also one of the big producers of that era. Donovan Germain, who was also a very, very big producer of that era as well. Here comes this young man, took it over, and then that's where Shabba, after a while, Shabba got some Grammys after being produced by the likes of Digital B. He was the one who actually worked in some of Shabba's big selling dancehall albums, Raw as Ever, which came along in 1991, and so many songs, so many albums. It produced for the likes of Garnet Silk, Hard Pint, Nitty Gritty, The Crown Prince, Dennis Emmanuel Brown, Gregory Isaacs, Johnny Osborne, Luciano. Did I mention Garnet Silk, Sanchez? The list is humongous. And this man is now passed away. SZA's, one of SZA's best albums, some say, is probably SZA's best album, Black Woman and Child. That album was produced by the great Digital B as well in 1997. You see, Black Woman and Child. Da, 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 da. I don't know word for word anymore, but I remember in around 1997, 98, couldn't stop hearing that song. It was a big song. The likes of Buju Banton has recorded for him. So virtually the who's who of the late 80s, whole of the 90s, and much of the 2000s have recorded for him. You see, even some of the veteran artists like John Holt has actually worked for him as well, and people like Alton Ellis. They've all done works at the great Roy's Road Studios there, in Kingston there, which of course was run by the great Digital B. Passed away last week Thursday. Couldn't believe it. And funny enough, virtually the same day he passed away, I was actually playing some of his productions, not knowing that he passed away, because I was here at home playing some music from the late 80s, some dancehall songs, and then after I finish my session here, just playing some songs to myself, just to get myself sharpened up for when I go back onto the radio and go back out there in the public domain again, just going through my collection. And then I woke up, that was last week Thursday night, going into Friday morning. And so Friday afternoon, around say midday, when I got up, I heard the news on the radio. Somebody, one of the I can't remember who it was now, but one of the guys on the radio said, "Oh, we've just lost the legendary, pioneering, dancehall engineer and producer, Digital B." When I heard that, I just could not believe it. I said, "Wow, Digital B's passed away." Just could not believe it. So we're here to pay a small tribute to him. It's not a big video, not a long video, but just a few things just to say, and just to say thank you so much. We say love and honor to his family. I believe he's left behind 3 children and a wife, and we say more strength to them. We hope that they get looked after, and that whatever comes their way in terms of finances and awards and accolades, they get it, because their father and their husband has done her husband and their father has done some great works. And one day he was in the studio alongside King Jammy, Digital B, Bobby Digital, and the great Striker Lee. They had this new, I think this new set had come into the studio, because in those days you had to keep up with the times, and new equipments were coming in, and various other bits of components to keep the song alive and to keep the songs and the actual music and the movement of the music going, because you couldn't stand still. So one day Digital B was in the studio, King Jammy was sitting over there, Bunny Lee was sitting over there, and he was playing around and try and get the hang of this gadget, this piece of device which was going to keep the music going. And so Digital B figured out, he got this piece of device figured out. So Striker Lee looked at him, the great Bunny Lee looked at him and said, "Wow." And then he said to King Jammy, "You know what, this one is called Digital." Of course, he just knew his way around the component, and knew his way around the piece of device, And so the name just stuck after that. So after that, everybody just started calling him Digital. And then Digital B, Bobby Digital, 2 names, Bobby Digital and Digital B, of course. And of course, he also worked with the great Cocoa T. They've done some songs together for Jammies as well. And so many of the great singers of that time, of the late 80s, going into the 90s, recorded for the great, sadly now deceased, Digital B, Bobby Digital. So I say thank you so much for all the songs you've done. One of the songs that sticks in my mind, I mentioned Black Woman and Child before from Sizzla, was Substitute Lover by the great R. Pint. I remember hearing that song a lot in 1990. Between 1990 and 1991, I was hearing that song a lot of times. Oh, girl, don't take me for no substitute lover, no. I saw a pint, and that was produced by the great Digital B, Bobby Digital. We say thank you so much, sir. Rasta man don't say rest in peace, but say much love to you, much strength to you, and the Almighty will preserve you for another day, for another time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Chrissy B and Motep. Subscribe, please. Like all the videos, share them around, and just keep loving one another out there. Keep strong, keep studying, and keep listening and watching our channels and our videos. I should keep saying channels. Yeah, keep watching our videos. Subscribe to our channels, as I said, at Chrissy B Motep. Leave your comments down below. Tell us what you think and feel about what we say, what we do. And yeah, and just share it and just spread the love, man. Just spread the love. So Chrissy B, peace out. Honor, love.